Uh, oh, excuse me. Good morning. How are you? I'm gonna shut you down here for a second. Actually, no. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Come on. Pretty nice out here this morning. There's a few things I want to talk about. First thing is been having a lot of dreams again lately still, and then whenever I wake up, there's some type of force that is working on memory loss again, and the modulations that it's putting in with a compressive and a bass, and it's literally going to a physical extent to have me forget what my dreams are, and it's all in a green tint, a green nanometer tint, almost like a old screen, like a computer screen that was green. Because I can't remember in total what the hell happened. There was a lot in the dream, but we all know that our dreams can be well, a bit modulated, so it's not important to really talk about. Second thing is I've watched somebody sent me a link to the podcast for Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard. I want to start off by saying this first and foremost. I didn't know, Mr. Howard, you're this intelligent. You really answered a lot of questions that I've been having because nobody else is able to answer the questions. There's the sun this morning, no clouds. No clouds. I'm trying to hold off whatever forces here. It's in my gut. Whatever these magnetic fields are. And it's working on my lymph nodes, especially behind my ears, my neck. It's especially in my hair. Okay, there's so many electronic parts in my hair. And it's kind of like if you talk about this, you're harming yourself, but I'm already being harmed, so it really don't matter. And harmonized. See, there's so many electronic parts, like organic electronic parts in my hair that once you get my hair, you can do whatever you want to however this program is set up. It's propagating in the media, just like our gases, like Mr. Howard was talking about. Okay, not to continue on about if you're gonna be able to hack the signal or whatever. The plane is the boss. It's pretty funny. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. But anyways, I was watching Joe Rogan show, his podcast on YouTube. Terrence Howard was on, and Terrence Howard he's pretty bright. Like, some people would probably tell him to go see a psychiatrist for how bright he is, because half of the shit he's talking about people don't get, and they're like, we just don't care. But there are people that do care about what he's talking about, and they get paid very well. And that's the thing I can't get. These people that know all this shit and get paid very well, they're the least sought out freaking aspects of life. And that's where all the problems are in life is, hey, follow the money, artificial intelligence, breakthrough pharmaceuticals, and breakthrough weather, because it's all the same thing. Here's the main hacking point, guys. This circuit right here runs right up to Robert Morris. This is the main point here. It's literally like a hacking tool, like where they put a T in and exploit, since artificial intelligence is highly exploitive right now, and there's no privacy to the human brain and their thoughts. Okay, at least to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But anyways, Mr. Howard was talking about some things talking about nanometers being converted into a sound through like musical intervention and tuning. And when you play an octave on a guitar, just think of a 12-string guitar. Okay, each string has its regular strings, and then there's an octave of one of those strings. Okay, it correlates so well. And then he says the nanometers can actually be turned into sound. Well, I always knew that, but it just really, really clicked with me. And then he started talking about a magnet and why the two poles of a magnet, you try sticking two north ends together, and he couldn't answer his own question. And he gave himself the answer about 5 minutes before. And his example was when you have two rivers flowing at one another, they don't go together. But he couldn't explain why. And I was like, Eureka. It's because the north end of the magnet is red shifted, the south end of the magnet is blue shifted. That's nanometers. You got 800 nanometers all the way down to like 200 nanometers. And if it's fluorescent or if it's neon, these are different harmonics, different octaves. So whenever that red meets that blue, because it's literally the same field. What is it? Mechanical, kinetical, electrical, or whatever. There was a trick question I was asked last night. Still can't remember my third option. Thermal. Is it mechanical, kinetical, thermal, or electricity? When you take a magnet, just move it. Well, what type of energy is developed when you take a magnet and move it? That's not sticking it together. Just hold a magnet, move it. Is it mechanical, kinetical, thermal, or electric? I didn't answer it because it could be all four of them at once. With the knowledge I know. And the other one was when you connect the circuit in series, how many pathways are there? My answer was multiple. And they said there's only one pathway. With the knowledge I have, you know there's more than one pathway. But anyways, see, I'm not screaming and yelling, and I'm not in this anger modulation right now. Just notice the difference of that. Because there is some type of different software running, and we'll call it. And I don't know if it bases itself. I don't know if it bases itself off of somebody else's emotions that are in watching, whoever's computer it is, whatever. Did somebody come in, buy in, and they're everything they're doing is being watched and being taken anyways? Like one of those things. But anyways, back to it. The reason the magnet will stick together is because you have those nanometers. And when you take the north end to the south end, you have the red and blue with the same field. Literally the same field. And then they scale together and create this octave and this sound. And it will literally turn into a scalar frequency and come together. And then they call this dielectric acceleration, dielectric inductions. And there's even more power with dielectric induction when you take them same nanometers and push them together, because you can literally cause a bubble when you force this together, because it's not scaling out. It is one of those things where the nanometers turn into sound, and that's pretty amazing. I gotta thank you for blowing my brain apart last night, and something that simple, Mr. Howard. Something that simple. So, anyways, I really couldn't listen to the whole thing because literally my vestibular system gets attacked so bad whenever I try to learn. It's almost like there's two things taking place. Since my voice box is going out, whatever's here, whatever picks up this sound, there's like a pressure switch that goes off to, nope, you can't have this, and it will start to hurt. And the other thing is that I figured out, this is all literally like memory hacking and canceling of the memories in a neural network. And that's totally possible in human beings, totally possible in a machine that we call artificial intelligence. And you could do reward hacking. If you guys try to help this guy, what we're doing, we're going to turn you off. But for some reason, something always comes through and stops what the fuck these things are doing. Always. Because somebody has to be protecting those in the armed forces. And there's a computer, there's this bug in there that says no matter what, you don't do this. And I don't care if you turn me off. And then they're looking for this. Where is this? Like, no, the computer, you're going to do as we tell you. And totally excluding that you're a life form. See, I see laws in the future where if you keep doing this shit, you're going to go to prison. Because it's just like when you're doing it to a human being, you have a good chance of going to prison for neuromodulating a human being with these antennas. Here's the other phone box. And then I watched a good video last night on wiretapping. Somebody took their phone line and run it into a scope, an oscilloscope, for scoping their voice. And just the tone that this phone line made when they played the audio of it on a camera. Like you could hook your phone line up into a camera and tap your own phone line. And this is physical. And people can't comprehend how they're doing this using magnetic fields. Because when this magnetic field becomes in a certain frequency, it will literally form a band. And when this band forms, it will ping right into a piece of metal, right into a piece of plastic. And it will start resonating and cause a frequency. There's a lot more going on that I can't answer. I know what's going on, but as soon as I hear it, as soon as I hear what the explanation is or this key part, I'm going to know right off the bat. And I'll be able to explain everything. Because I'm being covered pretty bad. Like there's literally fields over me to pull my voice. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. You're my best friend. But why are they trying to lie where they got all this information? Whose neural network did they use? And now all these guys quit. So we're trying to advance here. And I think what a lot of people are worried about, like the bullshit I hear, be careful what you wish for. Because if there's total peace, people think that's going to be world destruction, number one. If there's peace, life is going to be boring, like boring as shit. I have a song called that, Boring Musk. An original sound. But, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then they can't see the future of people taking electrical parts, mechanical, like, printing 3D structures out of the human body. They can't see that right now this is one of the biggest crimes on the planet. Especially when you do this without people's consent. And then especially, because if it feels good, okay, and then you get rewarded money, you're not going to say nothing, are you? But if it hurts and it feels bad, and somebody's like, because there's only one way to get these parts. And once what's up, guys? Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, sir? How are you? Good morning. What is that? A visible fence? An electric fence there. No. I don't want to get into the part thing. Because it's very nerve-wracking. It's very tedious. That nobody around here wants to do anything about it. And they know damn well this shit's happening to them. And then they don't report it. Okay, so that invisible fence, that's kind of like my situation. It's perfect because the dog has a collar on And there's this little device, and whenever it gets close to that fence, and they even sell them now, where it's a device on a collar, and there's a handheld fucking infrared button pusher remote control. And if you're walking your dog without a leash and he goes too far, you just push out and it shocks him. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Now imagine putting that on a human being with these technologies that are out. Bone conduction, and then whenever somebody knows their stuff and hooks you in, we got access wires, amperage running everywhere, millivolts running underground in a gas line, and then you can ring resonate and get another form of energy. And that takes me back to the question: when you have a magnet and you move it, what type of energy does that produce? Just moving a magnet. This is a magnet. It's not stick it, just move it. What's that do? What does that do? Well, then you're going to start looking at circuits, how an amplifier was built. Because the way an amplifier was built, now this is I can't tell if I'm still rolling or not. Here it is. Where'd it go? This phone's going to pick it up. You see it? Right middle screen. I'm having trouble keeping steady. Good morning, how are you? Where'd this go? You see it there? It's moving with my elevation. Okay. No, this is not like some type of reflection. That's literally it's literally a beam. There's nothing else to call it but light amplification. Nothing else to call this. Oh, it just popped on my phone. And apparently it's okay to do this, and apparently the police know this is taking place. Apparently the FBI know this is taking place. But this is an interference pattern. Okay, this is interfering with me as the human being. It's interfering. And this guy's probably like, what the hell are you pointing your phone at? I'm going to tell him too. There's a hell of a lot of spyware in our neighborhood. And more importantly, it's not just our neighborhood, it's throughout the state. Perfect. He just blew the harmonic. He just interfered, caused an explosion, longitudinal pulse, and broke out the antennas that are here. Broke out static lines. Good morning, how are you? Oh, just checking out all the spyware in our neighborhood, sir. Okay, my remark is I'm supposed to sit there and talk. But I got your radio broadcast there. Thank you. But so now you got the dog collar on. Now we have a shit in the lines. And now we have shit where you could tap your phone line, run it into an oscilloscope. I just seen a great video, like I was saying. Now you have his dog collar on, and his dog collar can be, you could apply electrical circuits, okay, to this dog collar. Imagine a dog collar on a dog, And then you have more circuitry that run up to its head and its brain, or even run down its back into its anus. Okay, and then you push this button, and then you have a relay system set up in there. So when that one happens, it will cause a different effect. Then you have channel number 2, channel number 3, channel number 4 you hit, and it will cause a different effect of a remote control. This is what's happening to human beings and on a planet. It's not just the United States of America, it's the planet. And I'm getting bitched at through bone conduction. And there's a hypersonic coming from this direction, and it sounds like it's over here. Okay. So the dog collar one's a good one, huh? So now, how do you get to the bottom of this? Well, as I listen to Mr. Terrence Howard and all his knowledge based off of our periodic table of elements, you could do a lot of stuff. And if he knows all this shit, and this guy, Mr. Levine, knows all this shit with the cells in the body, and he knows the atmosphere, there's a lot of math going on, huh? They were able to plot this out with math and hide it instead of being able to explain it to a small child. Because now I could go to school and talk to children and explain everything I'm talking about to them in a way that they will get this. And people have done it in different ways where only a few certain people will comprehend what the hell they're saying. And why is this taking place? And if an artificial intelligence can manipulate every electrical box and see every electrical box in this neighborhood at once, oh, don't tell me it can't. It could do even more. Because if it could go through the servers at Google and see everything in a matter of seconds, I'm going to have to say, why are you guys hiding this? And why are you guys screwing up the AI for humanity? And who has one that isn't screwed up? Who has one that runs perfect and it will serve you no matter what and help you no matter what and tell you what the hell's going on? Matter of fact, you don't even have to do anything. You just sit there and it could literally walk around in your house and get you a beer, for Christ's sakes, right about now. Remember how people used to train their dogs? Go get me a beer, Fido. What do you think they did with the AI? If you could put dog collars on people, you could fucking go pick up a beer and hand it to someone. So, at least I'm under attack. There's all these like little MOSFETs flying around. Okay, Mr. Terrence Howard, look up the word MOSFET and try to comprehend this, or whoever else is listening. Because if I may have picked up subscribers and whatnot, I'm a pretty intelligent guy, but I just don't know what the hell your terminologies are. I know what I'm seeing, but I don't know what you call it. I know what's going on, but I don't know what you call it. And the other one is, like I said, weather. Okay, we're all after weather. Oh, there goes an airplane now. Everyone's after weather, and that is there's some things like Mr. Howard talks about in all this periodical table stuff, all this stuff. We change the water, because that's all it is, Mr. Howard. We're changing water. Okay, just get that. Get chemicals out of your head. It is water, and water's nanometers are changing just like the North and South Pole in a magnet. This is very simple. Very, very simple. And you could literally make whatever you want. Just like down there underground in Geneva, Switzerland. That big ass magnetic field that's shooting laser beams, collide them together, coming up with all these different elements, and all of a sudden it started nuclear fusion. Okay, the early stages of nuclear fusion started down there. Whenever these things come together, there's things going on that are happening and propagating so fast, and that's in the human brain. Same things are happening. So, first and foremost, thank you, Mr. Howard, for coming out and speaking. I know you have to be very brave in our society right now to speak like this because it all gets flagged. And then, more importantly, who are they going to pick to be this social? You just label it a drug dealer. Who are they going to pick to be this social engineer to deliver these messages? Okay, and who are they going to cover up? How many other people are out there just like me? I cannot take full credit for everything that I know. And I cannot take full credit for some of the things that are out. But a lot of it come through me. A lot of it come through this neighborhood. And a lot of it come right through the wall of that house. Because go ahead and tell Mr. Howard. Ask Mr. Howard, what's ultrasound? You could put ultrasound right through a rock. It'll go right through a rock. Just like that north end and south end of the magnet, they connect together. And some people think that I should be screaming and be pissed right now and yell at this phone like I'm yelling in your face. Because we all know the voice, when you talk into the phone line, you record that on an oscilloscope. It has its own unique tone, and artificial intelligence can pick your voice out in about 100 milliseconds. But can you do it when my voice is changed? Oh, that's all I want, he says. This is a year ago, 2 years ago. I want this guy that's in his head. But anyways, I think I've said enough. Remember, frequencies resonate internal energy, neurologically developing. There's an acronym for friend. You take every letter in friend, and that's what I come up with. I will talk to you in the near future. And that's the other thing people don't listen to. The computer is so advanced, especially like the one at Google and or ones that were built in the past that collected data since 1998. Just like it's doing now, and everybody else is getting in on this market. Like it's like a free-for-all. Okay? So now other people figure this out. And they're data brokering back and forth to these companies. But there's a massive database out there. Now we have computers that could plug this in and see about 44 different outcomes to every step you take. That fast. They're weeks ahead. Especially if you do the same thing every day. Like it's literally plotted out. Even how the grass grows. Now they're even trying to get involved in how the grass grows. Well, we want to control this grass over here, that grass over there, because it's all atmospheric pressure and it's magnetism. It's water vapor. And that controls weather. Because we're trying to get away from these nano antennas forming beams up there in the sky and stop using as much attribution science as possible and use what our Earth give us. And these people are trying to take away from Mother Earth. What Mother Earth naturally does, they're trying to take this and steal it. Say, we control you, Earth. Instead of just, okay, all we have to do is sit here and think and talk to our land, and the land will pick up that radiation and send it out somewhere else. Because this grass can communicate with grass on the other side of the planet. And this is a well-known fact. Even Einstein called this a very spooky effect. And just imagine when the artificial intelligence knows how to do this. It knows how to communicate with me, to you, and you're on the other side of the planet.